The seagulls follow trawler. It's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.
Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Don't back down, double down. Don't back down, double down.
Yes! Welcome to the Christmas address, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing? Hope everyone's well. I hope you can all hear me okay. I don't have my usual headphones on, man. Do you know what I mean? Joined by the other fella.
The big fella.
I'm just that kid on Christmas Day, mate. But obviously, you know, this is the Bhoycie Bus Festive address. A big thank you to everyone who's joining us, and you know, I hope your families are fine, and I hope everyone's had a great day today. And it's just all gets a bit emotional, spare a thought for our good man Bob McBob, who finds himself out in the cold, -9, you could say, Jonathan, out there. And you know, obviously a big thank you, not just to you guys, but Celtic for doing some of the best promotional work
I mean,
we could ever ask them to do.
Anyone can be bought for the right price.
This is gonna start with that. They're fucking in there, man. They're in the comfy seats.
Now the Rod Stewart people, they only go once a year.
I only go once a year, but that's him with the club. They're compromised, Jonathan. They're compromised. That's what they're going to say.
I hope Mark Kearney's not watching, Russell. He's not going to be appreciating this at all.
No, the judge will be like, fucking hell. They've converted.
They've sold their soul to the devil.
That bloody light's doing my nutting. How's everyone doing in the comments? I hope they're well. Jonathan, it's Christmas Day. Talk to me a wee bit about that's better. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? Oh, hallelujah. Talk to me a bit about Christmas Day, Jonathan. What do we get up to, mate? Because it's usually quite a lot of fun on here, isn't it?
It is, yes. Christmas Day certainly seems to be the time for caring and giving, and we did a bit of caring and a bit of giving earlier on today. In fact,
presents
Russell,
he's talking about, by the
yes,
way, before anyone gets
presents,
smart.
absolutely presents. Absolutely presents. That's not this fucking show.
Anybody's thinking like that, get off the bus right now.
Fucking hell, we'll pull over. We'll get you off. You will be escorted off the premises. But, Russell, we are not quite yet done with all the presents. You know, me and the others on the pod also decided we would chip in because you've done a very good job with it this year, to be honest.
You've got me another present.
And we've got you one last present, which, let me just see.
Wow.
Just find it now. I've got it somewhere.
Let's better top them up here, right vouchers, because...
this is huge. This is huge. This is a gift from me to you It's a nice little bit of merchandise here. You can wear this anywhere. Available in all good retail stores.
I know by the colour.
And there it is. Moy is a boy, ladies and gentlemen. Russell will be wearing that from now on. I'm sure that'll become your new favourite t-shirt.
Oh,
Just a little thank you from all of us to you. We know it's your favourite footballer and how much you've enjoyed him over the past, few months that he's been with us.
Oh yeah, he's been world class, Jonathan, for us. And Aaron, Merry Christmas to you, my man. Fucking hell, nice one, Jonathan. Top boy, Aaron Moy. I don't know if I'm going to be a bit bloody there, but there it is.
There it is.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that, man.
No
Nice
problem.
one.
No problem.
Anyway, Jonathan, I mean, the thing is, with a festive address, we've got to consider those less fortunate at this time of year, and I think that we can point that directly across the city, Jonathan. Not our city. We live in fucking Fife, for our sins. But we can, without a doubt, say that our friends, our enemies, whatever you want to call them, the team in the blue, Jonathan, spare a thought for them this Christmas.
Oh, yes, you have to spare a thought for them at Christmas. It can't be easy for them at this time of year when it's, -9 for those that are less well off. And it's just an unfortunate position to find yourselves in. And, there just doesn't seem to be any real hope for them. They've got Mickey Beale now in as their manager. So, I mean...
Oh, Mickey!
You're so fine. But not really, because they're just not really doing very much there, Russell. They're just looking like it's going to be a very difficult new year for them. And you do have to just think and take a moment and always think of those less fortunate yourself at Christmas. And my heart goes out to the poor souls like, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, who brought so much to the table over the past 12 months.
It's a shame he can't reach anything on it.
Well, he was chucking things up there. He was maybe putting his wee high chair at one point and was able to get something on the table. But, he did a great job. He was inspirational in a lot of the success we've enjoyed over the past 12 months. And now, no more, out of work. Out of work,
Jonathan.
Out of work. And I would just like everyone to spare a thought and just think for a wee moment about those less fortunate themselves at this time of year.
Absolutely. Spare a thought as well, Jonathan, for St Johnstone.
Yeah. Because
yesterday, we didn't do a post-match pitch. We gave Big Terry Rob the night off. But let's be honest. Yesterday could have been that again. I've used this example a few times. It could have been 10 again, Jonathan, yesterday, I felt. We were absolutely dominant. Rio Hatate. Who wants to be a right-back joining Celtic? Do you know what I mean? Who wants to be a right-back joining Celtic when you've got guys like Hatate who can go there and get 2 goals?
I know. Well, Alistair Johnson must have been looking at this being like, fuck me, I've came in here thinking I'm probably going to have a good chance of getting this number 1 right-back spot. Juranovic is obviously going to be leaving, so in a straight-up battle, it's now looking like you could have competition from Rio Hatate because he slid in there absolutely sublimely. I think we were all concerned about it, looking out,
yes.
But Rio Hatate, he's got more to his than just midfield maestro. And he could have easily had a hat-trick quite comfortably in the game the other day. It was quite an extraordinary performance, but for me, Russell, it's been coming. I've been saying to you, I'd been saying to you that I felt Celtic were going to get a big win somewhere along the line. Mm-hmm. The performances have been there if the results haven't quite been as convincing as we'd have liked. So I was very pleased with the way we went about business with St Johnstone, and it was just a wee warning shot ahead of obviously some big games coming up, Hibs to come next, and then obviously we know it's Rangers in the derby in January. We know they are going to be huge games. I do think if we win the next 2, then Christ, who knows how many we're going to end up winning this league title by. That's what I think. I think the wheels will come off across the city of their bus, not our bus, their bus. The wheels would come off completely if we end up winning. If we ended up winning in January. But, that performance was what I think we've been threatening to do since we've came back. And, St Johnstone were just the unfortunate bastards that were on the receiving end of a Christmas massacre.
It was, Jonathan, like that. And do you know what, as well? You know, they've won 3 games, you know, our title rivals, if you want to go down that road. They've plucked the points from at times dismal displays and at times desperate displays. But they'll go into it knowing that it's still -9 outside. It's still 9 points. No, Jonathan, when you think about it. Yet again, yesterday, ever doubt the importance of getting these wins by the larger margins. Big thanks as well to Tattoo Face, who sent £5. That's really kind, mate, on Christmas Day. Steve O'Matt said about the internet connection, I am getting a Wi-Fi notification, which is quite annoying because I invested in new broadband only 5 days ago. Mobile broadband, Steve-O. So if the stream is dodgy, there's not much I can do. I've got literally only this laptop connected to the router, so it's brand new. So, and it's fully 5G, so I don't know what's going on there. But on the game, the goals, Jonathan, are important for Celtic to get back into that. None more so though that I know Hattati will get the headlines because as Phil McGinley so brilliantly says, and thanks for the logo for today's show. So, you know, one right back, and he's already the best right back in Scotland. Love that. But on top of that, Kyogo needed 2 goals, Jonathan, and he got them.
Yes, I think we were desperately in Kyogo to hit form because for me it looks like he will absolutely certainly get the nod at Ibrox, provided he's fit. I would imagine he'll start Easter Road as well. Giakoumakis, to me it looks as if the game may be over for Giakoumakis in a Celtic shirt. It's just not looking like there's any promising signs there that he's going to be post-January, which means Postecoglou is going to do what is best for the team, and he's going to play Kyogo because Kyogo hasn't, mentally checked out the building, which I think Giakoumakis may well have done now. And I think it's a bit concerning because I think Giakoumakis brings something different to the table. So I do think you need Kyogo to have his confidence up ahead of a game, of this magnitude. So I think when you're looking at it, Kyogo needed those goals because he's not really hit the peak form that he's shown perhaps in his first 6 months that he did in his first season. I think we're getting hopefully a Kyogo that's getting closer towards those levels, and that's exactly what we need when we're going to be playing such big games over the next couple of games. Would it concern you though, Russell? And I take the point, he's got his confidence up, but would it concern you that he might be a little bit lightweight with the games coming up to be playing up front as the sole striker, and that he could potentially have his feathers ruffled a bit too much for us to be able to handle with him?
Well, I just don't think it's right that he would be playing, fucking week in, week out with the injury record he's had. I mean, I don't think there's been anything that's been crazy long time, albeit we need to remember last season in the second half of the campaign, that injury he got, I mean, if it hadn't been for Giakoumakis, I don't know the destination of the league title. So it's very, very important that you've got someone who can fill in. If Giakoumakis isn't in favour, which obviously he's not, there's been Sands went on, by the way. Do you know what I mean? Sands went on too.
Oh, absolutely.
And just made his mind up based on whatever reasons we're not privy to because we just sit and watch the football matches. Do you know what I mean? And talk shite about them. And just got the day in, day out knowledge of what this scenario is that's came up. I would have liked a wee bit more transparency on it. I don't think it would be causing ripples if he just said, look, Kyogo's the guy who's training better right now. Or if it was, yeah, there was rumours last week and they're all actually true. Yeah, he's been angling for a move. Or, yeah, we've had contract talks and, they've stalled and we need guys who want to be here. I think some sort of wee insight like that would remove the continual debate because I don't think the debate's fair. I think, you need, this is a squad game. We've got 5 centre-halves, Jonathan, once Kobayashi joins, 2 strikers. Usually in football, you're more stocked
up front
in the up front area than you would be in a defensive area. You'd probably go to in our case, it's been Stephen Welsh or maybe a Lawal, not Lawal. And I just feel up front, it's just that one position, the number 9. It seems to be quite light. Would I want to just go with Kyogo? Absolutely not. I mean, I'm delighted for getting his 2 goals yesterday. I think they were overdue. And of course, people will point to Kyogo's goal record this season actually is quite good.
Mm-hmm.
But
top goal scorer still.
Oh, he's missed so many. And we're not idiots. And the stats can tell you facts but definitely not the whole picture all the time, Jonathan. I think that's the important bit. And for me, that's fine. See, the thing is with the Giakoumakis one, as gutted as we are, because he's a cup hero on the bus. Right? He is. But that being said, I'm here genuinely going, the manager knows more than us about it. If you don't want him in your plans, I'm okay with that. But fuck me, yeah, we 100% then need to make sure we've got reinforcements in that area. And by the way, I also, whoever it is that he does replace Giakoumakis with in January, because I do think he's gone, I don't want one, I want two. And that's not to dilute the quality, by the way. I still want one who comes in who's better than Giakoumakis, and I also want a third option, because I think that's an area we could have wanted.
Well, yeah, it kind of goes back to what we were saying in the summer, doesn't it? We kind of felt we should have had another striker in the building then, even when we thought Giakoumakis was quite content. But it seems to be the case that, you know, we're almost running a bit light on strikers and I don't really understand why, because it wasn't really as if we were really linked with that many strikers I can think of. I know we obviously promoted the Jordan Larson rumours in the summer, but that never really took off at all, outside of, you know, fans wanting that to happen. And I don't really recall Celtic being linked, you know, with any credibility towards actually bringing a striker in the summer, which is an interesting one when you consider the amount of games Celtic are going to be playing. And, you know, Champions League games as well, we're going to be included at that time.
This is it, because the thing was, Ange himself, I mean, I think you're a joker. I think you're having a joke. There's no clamour for Giakoumakis to play. We just said, it's okay. We just said if Ange, for whatever reason, doesn't want to play him, that's okay. We're saying January, I want to see one or two. In fact, I want to see two added. One of them better than Giakoumakis, which I've said as well. So I don't really, you know, I think it's the manager's gift to not play Giakoumakis. I've got no issue with it. So I'll just nip that one in the bud, Jonathan. You know, don't want to be unfriendly on Christmas Day, though. You know, you're having a joke. What was it called? Yeah, Joker.
Yeah, Joker.
I hope you are having a Merry Christmas as well, of course. Now, what I was going to say as well, fucking see with the upfront situation, whilst that's going on, and we've went with just Kyogo and Giakoumakis, and then the January window didn't sign an out-and-out number 9 then. And what we actually did, mate, was we fucking ended up relying your hopes on Giakoumakis, who's grabbing his hamstring every 3 seconds.
Yep.
And looks like whenever he gets a bit of pain, he's in loads of pain. Now, that to me was a risk. Okay, it paid off because he did exceptionally well. Right? He fucking did well. But we have to be real. We have to be real and say, like, wait now. If this is progression and this is now phase 2, not, you know, the first season sort of, you know, madness, which it was, and amazing, and credit to Ange for getting it over the line. But season 2 is meant to be now improving things, getting slicker.
Yes.
So it's not about your top scorer for last season dropping out, getting flogged in the summer, in January for some sort of fallout, and then being replaced just by one other. I think that area needs targeted, and you can't have your cake and eat it. Well, maybe on Christmas Day you can, guys. But I just feel like there was murmurs, or not murmurs, moans at times of Ange. Not even moaning strong. Observations. I'll stick on that word. Observations he made about how busy the schedule had been in the opening half of the season, reflecting the Champions League and things. Well, there was an area of the team that was glaringly obvious had let us down in that said Champions League campaign.
Yes.
So fucking address that then. And, you know, you can't moan about that when you've only went into it with 2 strikers.
No, absolutely not. And it's one of those ones where we just seem to have kind of almost neglected the striker role a little bit. And I probably looked at it last season and thought, because Kyogo was so important in the first half of the season, keeping us in the title race, and then Giakoumakis was inspirational in getting us over the line to win the league. You maybe thought those two would be good enough on their own merits without needing to bring in anything else. However, it's now becoming apparent that with Giakoumakis wanting out, especially, that we're going to need at least one striker. I would agree. I think we need 2, because you really want to have competition. Yeah, you want competition.
Do you think a Merry Christmas by Stephen Thompson coming in, Paul McFarlane? Merry Christmas to you all, by the way, lads. Thanks very much for that. Appreciate it. But Jonathan, the thing is, there's examples all over this team where competition's enhanced the player.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no two ways about it for me. Tony Ralston got instantly better. I think, firstly, he got the love, he got valued by Ange, which I think he'd been lacking. And then the arrival of Juranovic, who, you know, the Rolls-Royce Croatian internationalist. But I think the arrival of him pushed Ralston on to even better as well. This is commonplace in football, that the competition gets people better. Is there an argument that maybe to coincide with Kyogo's slight dip in form, and I take the points, he's top scorer, do you think maybe there's a bit as well that he's too acutely aware, he's too acutely aware he's going to get the game?
Yeah, well, I think there is that, because he knows he's Ange Postecoglou's favourite. I don't think many people dispute that, regardless of which side of the argument you fall on with Giakoumakis or Kyogo and who you think should be starting. I think most people know where Ange Postecoglou stands on that. We've found out plenty of times over the past few months when he's had both of them available. You could probably count on one hand the amount of times Giakoumakis has started the game ahead of Kyogo when they've both.
What did you make of his warning shot to Kyogo? Do you think that got him better? Paul Dyett's making that point. He had them firing again yesterday. He won't allow anything else, because he did have a dig midweek, and his dig was exactly the views we shared, me and Terry, on the post match. That was exactly where we were coming from. I was like, I can't see you. I did the fan cam live, Jonathan, and I said after the first ball went across the 6-yard box to Nabday, when there's no one attacking it, and that's not because the ball was bad. There's got to be someone in there. So I was genuinely like, this better not be the story, the fixture. As the match went on, there by half time there'd been 4 occasions.
Yeah.
And I was so glad that Ange, I obviously would identify it, because if I can see it, he can see it, right? I get all that. But I was glad he actually went public. Yes. I just think it was the first warning shot to Kyogo that I'm watching you, big boy. The goals don't completely blind me.
No.
You know? And I thought it was good that he said that.
Yeah, no, I think Postecoglou's being very clever, as he always is with his words. He doesn't tend to miss very often with his words, whether it's the media or his own players. I think Postecoglou always times it perfectly when he's looking for responses, and that's exactly what that was. He's looking at this run of fixtures, Russell, and he's looking at it as a tough run of games once you pass your home games. You know, away to Hibs, away to Rangers. You know, he obviously came back with the away game at Aberdeen as well. So there was potential for drop points there quite easily. You could understand if something had potentially gone wrong in one of those games, because they aren't the easiest ones to win. But he's looked at it and he's obviously thought, well, I need to get more out of these guys. And, you know, it all comes back to me, the fact that I think he's preparing Kyogo because he's going to be starting at Ibrox. And Kyogo, as much as he's done a lot of good things for the club, he's never really had that moment yet against Rangers. I appreciate he's not always played because he's been injured.
The wins we've got against them tend to be, you know, I think a lot largely down to the other striker. You know?
Absolutely, that's what I would say as well. I would say if you had them both available and both in the right mental state, then Giakoumakis starts for me every time against Rangers, because he offers them something totally different that they don't like playing against. I think my concern with that game is that Kyogo, I think, can be got at by the Rangers defence. I think Kyogo could get ruffled up a wee bit. He's obviously not going to be able to play the same physical game that Giakoumakis can play. Now, I appreciate there's more to it than just that. But...
Okay, will they target that, though? Will they look at Kyogo and go, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to bring out the staunchness. We're going to bring out the brogues, and we're going to hammer him at the start, because they've done that before.
Yeah, I think they will. I think they'll definitely try and do that. I think that's Rangers' best chance of getting a result, regardless of who plays. I think that will be their tactic, is that they are going to try and ruffle up as many feathers as we can. And you would probably say it's maybe one of the few criticisms of the Celtic team, as you could maybe argue they're too nice. They don't pick up a lot of bookings, Celtic. They don't really have, since Scott Brown left, somebody that's like properly got a massive dig about them. I think Cal McGregor has came along a lot in that regard. But
I think it's why Giakoumakis has stood out.
And I think, I'd agree.
Because he's that against me, pal. I'll ragdoll your centre halves. He gave them nightmares, mate. He's the one they don't want to play. Now, I appreciate, in my opinion, I can't be hypocritical. In my opinion, his race is run for whatever reason. That'll come out. But at this moment in time, there's got to be reasons he's not even getting an opportunity to start at home to Livy, at home to St Johnstone, away to Aberdeen, when he was crying out. We were crying out for him to come on. He comes on with 10 minutes to go, 12 minutes to go. I just feel that difference, the difference between the two, Kyogo's got to make up that difference this time.
Yep.
He's got to be able to sort of, close that gap in terms of his physical sort of input into the game. Just very quickly as well, Paul McFarlane's got a great point I'm going to come to. I was going to very quickly say as well, nothing is forever. What a Christmas present that is. A new Bhoycie Bus member. Thank you to those who've donated as well. Honestly, you don't need to do it. It's just, we're here just to break up Christmas Day a wee bit for a wee half hour. Thank you. Nothing is forever, and keep your eyes peeled on the content. Monty's going for his dinner. What a legend of the bus, mate. Brilliant. But let's go to Paul's McFarlane's point, because we're going to talk about this, and then I'm going to talk about Craig Gordon after that, and then we'll call it. But Paul McFarlane's saying, Bhoycie in his bold capital letters. Love that, mate. Couple of strong goals.
You know, he's getting excited.
Aye.
He always enjoys
it. He's in a dark fruit.
And I love the enthusiasm when these all come in capital letters. We know Paul's in the game.
He's in the zone, mate. He's in the zone. Love it. And he's saying, Bhoycie, would you play Hatate based on obviously what we've seen yesterday? Would you be playing him at right back against Rangers, Jonathan? For me, if Tony Ralston's fit, I'm still a firm believer. You play your best players in your best positions. And the best three midfielders we've got is O'Reilly, Hatate, McGregor. I want them in there, and I want Ralston right back. I don't think it's fair to put Johnston in, for his debut. Albeit we've seen examples in the past where debuts. Juninho springs to mind. His Celtic debut was against Rangers, and he was fucking brilliant. Folk have seemed to have sort of forgotten that. But would I put Alistair Johnson in there? Big Tiger Woods? No, I wouldn't do it, mate.
It's a difficult one to always know.
And I wouldn't play Hatate there unless needed. If Ralston's not close, sorry, just very quickly, if that's still underlying, by all means, whilst I say play your best players in your best position, make sure you've got your fittest players as well make up your 11, particularly for this sort of game.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, I think when you're looking at it, I think you have to go with Ralston probably for me, as long as he's fit. I wouldn't have a massive problem if he chucks Alistair Johnson in. I think that comes down to Ange Postecoglou's judgment there. I think that comes down to the personality of a player. Now, obviously, we know it's getting chucked right in the deep end. You're either going to sink or swim if you're getting chucked into a game of that magnitude straight off the bat in your first game. But, Alistair Johnson, for me, I thought he came across pretty well in his conference interview. He did. I think he could possibly just be able to slot in and it won't faze him too much. And I think that's what it comes down to, because he obviously has the ability. He looked good for me at the World Cup. I'm no concerns with that signing whatsoever. And I think, if there's a chance that Ralston isn't going to be fit, I certainly wouldn't put Hatate out of position and play him right back. Have a right back in the team that you just spent a few million quid on.
That's true.
For me, you'd have to trust Alistair Johnson, because it's all wearing good, bedding players in, but Celtic are in a very strong position at the moment. This game, hopefully, all going well, I think we're still going to have our 9-point lead going into it. So it's not a do or die situation against Rangers for us by any stretch of the imagination. The pressure is always there because it's a derby match. Nobody likes to lose them. We never want to lose them. It's so important you don't lose a game of this magnitude. However, at the same time, we are in a position where we do have a bit of a cushion and a little bit more comfort there, that this isn't, the consequences of losing aren't as severe as they sometimes can be. And I think that's why I would lean towards an Alistair Johnson getting in the team, possibly. You're looking at it and you're thinking there's all sorts of possibilities. Hatate has to play midfield. You have to go Hatate, O'Reilly, McGregor. For me, there's no other way of doing it. A little bit surprised. I thought you might have had Aaron Moy. Now you've got your T-shirt, but obviously Aaron Moy's not getting a look in for the kinds of things for you. But I mean, you look at it, and even that midfield three, Russell, I still think that midfield three can be bullied against Rangers. That's probably where my big concern is. I think they will try and bring the blood and thunder to that game, and they'll try and play it similar to that Scottish Cup semi-final last year, where they did get away with an awful lot, and who knows, they might get away with an awful lot.
There's even more now with that.
Yeah.
Because, Jonathan, yesterday we're looking at 3 minutes again yesterday.
Wrong decisions as well.
What was that, our second goal? I'm sure it was. And I'm going, I've watched one replay. I know that was fine.
Yeah.
I don't claim to be clued up on everything. Are they looking for excuses to not use a goal? I mean, I can't be bothered going into it. It's Christmas Day, man, but fuck me. Like, it's just naughty, that stuff.
Well, they had that one as well. It looked like it was over the line, and they didn't really give that much consideration at all.
But yeah, a perfectly legit goal takes 3 minutes to deliberate over. They're going, oh, what about this? What about that? What was that? What is it they're doing? we're going to find out on the 2nd of January. It'll be the first ever Glasgow derby with VAR.
It'll be box office because Willie Collum is the VAR official as well, and Willie likes to be the centre of attention.
Agreed.
Not saying he's necessarily biased, but I definitely think Willie Collum likes to have his moment in the spotlight, and I would be astonished if Willie Collum does not end up making a massive call in that game. Hopefully it goes for us. Evidence so far suggests probably not.
No.
But
no.
I would bet my house on the fact there is going to be a contentious decision that comes out of this game that goes to VAR, and people are going to be jumping up and down about it for the next few months. Hopefully it doesn't decide the game, but I can guarantee you there is going to be something that happens in that game that we are all going to be fuming about.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. There's no reason not to think that. Well, we've got, this isn't hunches. This is based on what we've seen so far. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it's, I just wonder if it will be like that. It's like, well, judging back, and again, I just thought Saturday, it seemed so innocuous. Nothing's happening. What's this big review about? What are they looking for? Are they looking actively to find a reason? Jonathan, I want to turn your attention to something else before we go, because it's Christmas and we are in the right spirit. And Craig Gordon gets a lot of flack, Jonathan, from Celtic fans. I think sometimes unfairly. I think he did a lot more right for Celtic than he did bad, my opinion. And if Brendan Rodgers didn't fancy him, that's okay as well.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? That's okay. And it's his gift to then decide who he wants to be in goals. That's the same respect we give Ange with his decision making. So that's okay. Doesn't make Craig Gordon a cunt, for want of a better word. That leg break yesterday, the images are all over social media. I'll tell you right now, that's the worst leg break I've ever seen in my life. A still of. I hope somehow the image is somehow over-egging the severity of it. It would be a real shame. Bear in mind, he turns 40 on the 31st of this month.
Yeah,
I would know that, And at 39 years old, obviously going to be 40 during that sort of period of recovery. Have we maybe seen the end of Craig Gordon? And if so, that's really tragic the way that he's went out.
You didn't want players to have their careers brought to a close on that sort of note whatsoever. I think you're right. I don't think there's going to be any way he's going to be able to turn that around. I mean, to be fair, he's done very well to actually bring his career back. If you even remember when Celtic first signed him, Celtic there was a bit of a punt. I mean, Celtic fans didn't know what they were getting when they took Craig Gordon on. He'd been out of the game for a few years by that point after having another serious injury. It looked like it ended his career. He'd actually started moving into punditry quite a lot, I remember, before.
That's right.
So it did look like he was making a transition completely away from playing. And to be honest, his comeback was actually quite remarkable, the more you think about it. And yes, Brendan Rodgers didn't fancy him, but under Ronnie Dyla, he did a very good job in goals. And I think that almost gets forgotten about in some ways. But there was a Europa League game. I can't remember who it was against. It might have been Cluj or somebody like that. And he was absolutely outstanding in goals. And he had a few big games for us. So I mean, I certainly wouldn't want his career to be getting ended like this. I know he's not everyone's cup of tea or flavour of the month, but I think he was a massive part of the football club for us for a number of years. And he strikes me as a
treble winner.
Exactly. I mean, he's part of a elite club of Celtic legends. When you're looking back at this in 20, 30 years' time, no one can take that away from him, that he was the goalkeeper when Celtic were having all of that success. And I think, one of the most iconic moments of that whole treble run is the one where he's flat out on his knees in the GIF and you've got all the fans bouncing about at Hampden against Aberdeen. So no, you definitely don't want him to have his career ended in this way. I'd love it if he's able to make another comeback, but I think this one is going to be a bridge too far for him.
May well be. It may well be, Jonathan. It did seem a shame. Terry Robb coming in the face of PMP. Hey, Mickey, you're so fine. You're -9. I love that, Terry. Absolutely brilliant. I don't know if you just came up with that or someone else has on your behalf and you're claiming it. Either way, I like that. But we will call it there, Jonathan. This has been the Bhoycie Bus Christmas address. Apologies if the connection's been a bit dodgy. I don't know if my brand new fucking router's taking... it's taking a bank holiday today as well. But I fuck watching, the King and all that shite. A big thank you to you all for the support the last 12 months up to this Christmas. It's been absolutely amazing. the love, the generosity, etc. And anyone, like I said in the on the old community page on the YouTube channel, I'd put, if you're fucking lonely today and you're sitting on your own or whatever, drop me a message and I'll give you a phone. All right, and we'll have some banter and he can tag along and all. But on that note, Merry Christmas. I'm just going to read out Terry's message again. Hey Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You're -9. Hey Mickey.
Comments about me deliberately trying to cause controversy. Well, I work in the media now, and you've got someone sitting there next to you who's an embarrassment to the media profession. He's an apologist. He's a charlatan.